welcome to another episode of Mommy in Motion. So as many people know, and as we have learned firsthand, kids are like sponges. They literally listen to everything, even when we don't think that they hear us. I swear, they have like superhero hearing when we don't want them to hear us. Like when we want them to listen, that's when they don't hear anything that we're saying. And of course, the times that we don't expect them to hear us are the times when we say things like, you know, bad words around the house, which was pretty evident a few weeks ago. When I heard Adrian singing a song, the closer I got, I realized what he had said and I asked him to repeat it, and he looked at me and he dropped the F-bomb with a big smile on his face. And it was a horrible reaction for me on my part, because I ended up just laughing because it's a 2-year-old who knows that it's a bad word, and he just thought it was the most hilarious thing to say ever. And this also happened with Austin when he was little. Like, there was times when he would just like bump his elbow on the wall and or drop a toy, and all of a sudden he would just nonchalantly say, oh shit, oh shit. You know, it's just like, wait a second, like you're not supposed to be saying that, but it's so funny. Yeah, so lesson learned there. We had to be a lot more careful with the words that we were saying around the kids. I swear, they're not even in the room when we say them and they just hear it. So with that being said, on a more serious note now, there's been a huge lesson I've had to learn for myself dealing with self-esteem issues growing up. It's so easy to nitpick at ourselves and judge ourselves, our physical appearance, and pick out the things that we don't like. Especially now with beauty standards, they're set at such a high bar because of social media. So when it comes to insecurities, if it's affecting my adult mind, how much more to my impressionable 6-year-old or my 2-year-old copycat? As one of their main role models, how good of an influence am I actually if they see me judging myself and picking out things about how I look that I don't like? If they see me talking about how I don't like my nose or how I feel like my thighs are ugly, they're gonna end up looking at themselves and be like, well, there must be something wrong with me too. And they're gonna start trying to find their own flaws in themselves. I don't know what I would do if my kids were ever to get bullied, and then on top of that they'd start to believe like whatever mean things were being said to them or about them. Like literally just thinking about that makes me want to cry and also punch somebody in the face, and it hasn't even happened. Because more than anything, I want them to be strong and confident with who they are and how they look. I want them to really, really love themselves. Children can be so cruel nowadays, and even adults. So how do we, you know, how do we protect their fragile minds and their fragile like egos? Like how can we keep their egos boosted enough so that they know how to value themselves? And the older they get, if they get on social media on their own, that's just gonna add even more pressure to be perfect. So you guys, something has got to change. And it starts at home, it starts with us as parents. Like we have really got to start speaking more positively about ourselves, about how we look, so that our kids can learn how to do that too. It won't be perfect, we all have insecurities, we're only human, but even just raising self-awareness about how much negative self-talk we do and keeping it at a minimum or keeping it away from their little ears, that'll make a world of a difference. I think I'm really good at complimenting my kids and praising them, but I think I need to work on complimenting myself more for their sake. And truly, this could be like a double benefit, or actually a triple benefit. Number 1, your child gains confidence and learns the meaning of self-love. Number 2, they're now affecting others because they know how to look for and see good qualities in others, and they're not going to be afraid to lift them up. Number 3, positive self-talk will help us feel more confident as parents and as a person. We all have what we think are imperfections or insecurities or flaws, but the more positive things we can say about ourselves, the more we actually do start to believe them. It's just like thinking of it as positive affirmations. The more you say something that's positive, the more you start to feel confident, the more you start to feel better. So I want you to do something today. Don't be afraid to look in the mirror and be like, damn, you look good. Or, I love how the sun brings out the freckles in my face. Or, this body may not be the fittest, but it is freaking badass. Guys, if I'm being completely honest, I have days where I'm just like, man, I really, really miss my pre-baby body. Like, I could eat anything and not look like I'm 5 months pregnant again after my meal. But then again, I have to turn that thought around and be like, wait a second. This body has housed 3 healthy babies. It has gone through 3 major surgeries to birth these 3 healthy babies. And I'm still alive, and I'm still functioning, and I'm still healthy. Like, what the heck am I complaining about, you know? Like, having been able to do that is a superpower that I will never take for granted. So there, once we change our mindsets, we'll slowly be able to change the mindset of those that are closest to us. Even if it seems like it's out of your comfort zone to compliment yourself, just do it little by little. One compliment a day. It's gonna make a difference. You just gotta start. And okay, even if you don't do this for yourself, at least do it for your babies. I hope this message helps and we can start building a more body positive, self-loving, and self-valuing generation together. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and also leave a comment down below if you started implementing some part of this message today, or if you already knew this and it's old news and you've already been doing it, then you're freaking awesome. Alright, thanks so much for joining, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye!